Peace. This is Ala Peters, founder of proprietary Fibonacci Method. It's my joy and pleasure to introduce Sam. Sam is a graduate of the course who developed his own proprietary Fibonacci Method trading options. In this webinar, Sam will be sharing how he trades his options, what he uses options on, and what he plans on teaching in the month of September. As you can see, this is a beautiful picture of Sam's family. And most importantly, before I give microphone to Sam, I would like to remind you that all testimonials from Sam and other students and graduates of the course are believed to be completely true and based on the representations of the persons providing testimonials. Facts in testimonials have not been independently audited or verified, nor there been any attempt to determine whether any testimonials and representations of all persons using the methods described herein or to compare the experience of the persons giving the testimonial after testimonials were given. The average reader should not necessarily expect the same or similar results. Again, I absolutely have my face as Sam. It is simply required legal disclaimers that I must display and read for you. So here's my joy and pleasure. Sam, please start the webinar.
Sure. Hello, everybody. I see quite a few familiar names. I see quite a few that I have never seen the names before. So what I'm going to do is I'll start by telling you a bit about myself. Then we'll go into what we plan to do in this class. I am originally from Damascus, Syria. I moved to the United States when I was 18 years old after I finished my high school. I went to college there. I finished the master's degree from USC. And then I worked and obtained my citizenship in the US and stayed there for 18 years. Then I moved, during those 18 years, I had a lot happen to me. I started my own business, which was basically a real estate business that did extremely well until the crash of 1990, which might be something that most of you don't remember, weren't even born when that happens. So I went from a very successful real estate business. I think my last project was 48 houses in Palm Springs. I sold 3 of them before the crash happened. So I had to struggle with the banks in order for them to take them back and leave me some left over where I rented so I can survive. Thank God I didn't have to file bankruptcy. I was one of the few developers who didn't have to at the time. I struggled from the early 90s till 1997. Then I decided to move back to Syria because my mother was terminally ill and she needed my help. I went back. My mother passed away a couple of years later, and I took over our family business, which is basically a construction company. Okay, I took the construction company in a very short years to be one of the largest construction firms in the country. And it was all rosy, you know, had a ton of money coming in, bought one of the largest houses in the city. By the way, it's very expensive because it's very tight quarters. And all was fantastic. You know, actually there was so much money coming in, we didn't know what to do with it. You know, we were investing everywhere. At the time, President Assad, who now you're all familiar with, had opened the country. Banks were coming in. We were originally social system. He went into open market system. We had banks, insurance company, new companies establishing everything, and we invested in everything that we could. It was all fantastic and rosy till the war hit. The war hit, and all of a sudden, I went from making a ton of money to making close to nothing. At the time, I had my elder son in the United States studying at Urbana-Champaign Engineering, and I had to provide for my family, and of course I had to leave the country. So I moved out of Syria into Lebanon, okay, and I tried to do various things, but I was unsuccessful because it was just too competitive and my mind wasn't very open. So I decided to go back into trading. Actually, my wife pushed me to go back into trading that I've done a few years back successfully, but now the whole landscape has changed. Initially, when I traded, I had to call my brokers in order to place a trade. Now everything is online, there's a lot of new methodology, everything is transparent. So I went in and I started studying. I took just about quite a few courses online and basically reading books and what have you till I felt that I was comfortable trading. And it was later, I think it was not till about 2013, that I walked into Ala's course and learned her methodology. Now I was about 3 years late because I had already spent a ton of money, and what I've learned from her course is what helped me become who I am today. So basically, I like to do options, and I trade option almost exclusively. Okay. I developed my own option strategy because I don't like to lose. Okay, so this is about me. This is who I am. During that time, throughout this whole period, the first couple of years, my daughter also graduated from high school in Lebanon, and she was accepted at Harvard School. So now all of a sudden, she is at Harvard, my son is still in college, and I have to provide for 2 kids, plus provide my family, for my family here. So I needed quite a bit of money in order to survive. So what happens is after I took Ala's course, I went back into options. I adopted what I learned from Ala and included options into it with great results. So actually last year, I did about $300,000 of profit, a little bit less than that to be exact. Ala, do you want to put that first screenshot up there? That's one of my 1099s. Can you move it up a little? Okay, this is my personal 1099. What I did last year, because I was doing so well, I decided to open a trading corporation. So the first, I think, 10 or 11 months, I traded my personal account, and that was the result. This is 1099 for future trading and option obtained from TD Ameritrade. Can you put up the second one, Ala, please? There was another one for about $15,000 or so, Ala, which was the entity 1099. It's not important. If you don't have it, it's okay. Oh, here it is. That's a profit of $15,000. So that's a total of about $285,000 or so. That was my profit from trading future options last year. Okay, and these are 1099 from TD Ameritrade. Now, I continue to be somewhat successful, at least I call it this way. This year so far, I think I sent you a screenshot of the account. It's up about $150,000 this year. So, my goal from the whole trading is to provide for my family. Yep, that's it. It's $150,000, and this is dated. Can you see the date up, Ala? Can you bring it down so we can see the date? It's a few days back, I think. Anyway, oh, here it is. I think it's the 18th. Yeah, anyway, so that's basically what I'm trying to do, trading option using Ala's method in my proprietary option strategy, is to do about $20,000 to $25,000 of income per month. This is my goal. This is what I want to do. Okay, so Ala has been asking me for a long time to start trading because I've done with her for quite a few years, and she knows who I am. We basically agree on most of the stuff, and we are better together. Let's put it this way. So she's been asking me to teach. Last year, I think I took 2 mentor students, and I decided not to. This year, she's talked me again into doing an option course for groups, and at this time, this is the only one that I'm doing. Okay, I want to see how it goes, and I want to see if I'm going to enjoy it or not. I mean, I enjoy trading, I enjoy people, I enjoy talking to people, I enjoy teaching people. I definitely enjoy trading. It's one of my, the love of my life, so to speak. And, but I don't know how well will this go. So at this point, I'm only going to be teaching this class. Okay, so what am I going to be teaching? Or what am I going to be trading? Now, as I said, I trade option mainly on future, but the methodology that I will show you will work on all optional underlying. It will work on stock, future, ETF, basically anything that has options. Okay, I choose to trade future options for some obvious advantages with future that I will also explain in the course. I basically trade daily chart. I choose options that are 30 to 45 days away from the money. Excuse me, expiration that are 30 to 45 away. I trade ES, NQ, ZB, GC, 6E, 6B, oil, natural gas, and all the agriculture. My base, I will be explaining all of these in the course, obviously, okay? The basic setup is any of Allah strategy. I am not, I don't really care what it is. I try to stay as simple as possible, okay? And so basic continuation trade is good enough for me. I don't need more than that. But then again, if you know the other strategy, you can use it when it comes up and just basically place option. I'll show you exactly what to place instead of doing the future like she does. I usually take profit when I hit decision point 2. And that usually takes about a few days to get there. Now, my specialty is defending a trade because I do not take stops. And that's really what I'm going to be teaching you, okay? So when we set up a trade, when we go in there, we'll set up the exact trade with the exact category and what to do. And then we don't take stops. So when it's time to take a stop, we're going to defend that trade. And I've developed an option defense strategy that will turn away most losing trade into break even, slight profit, or a very small loss. I simply hate losing. You know, if I have a losing trade, I'm up all night, maybe 4 or 5 nights in a row. Okay, so it's my psychology is very difficult with losing. I don't like losing. I'm not used to losing. I'm using to get things right. So what I did is I developed a strategy that will turn most of these losers into slight loser or a winner. Okay, and this is really what I'm going to be teaching you. The class that we're planning to run is probably for about 4 weeks, 4 days per week. Okay. The way I plan to do it is to start week 1 with the basic of options. Basic of options is not everybody needs to be in that class, because if you know option, you don't have to be there. But again, you know, some people would like to just come in and see what we're going to be talking about. What we're going to be talking about is basically the basic calls and puts, option contract equivalent. We're going to be talking strike price, expiration cycles, intrinsic, extrinsic value, in and out of the money option, you know, just the basic option explanation. Then we're going to go, the first day we'll do the option basic, the next day we'll go into a question and answer session. And I think that's the way I would like to run it. The first day we'll do the methodology, the next day we'll do question and answer session, and then again we repeat the process. We go into the next, which will be probably the vertical spread and the combination of the vertical spread. So we'll go to a little bit more complex. Again, that would be like a Wednesday. On a Thursday we'll go question and answer session. We'll go through everything and all the questions that you have. Again, if you are an experienced option trader, you can probably skip this week. I would like you to be there. We may not spend a long time, you know, but we may spend anywhere from half an hour to an hour and a half every day, depending on the level of understanding of the group and how fast we're moving. And we will not leave anything unturned. We'll just go through and explain everything, okay? Week 2, we're going to go to the important Greek and the expected move. I am not going to go to the Greeks in details. We're just basically going to go to delta and theta, which we will be using in the option. And I'm going to explain to you the concept of the expected move, which I think, I believe it's a very important concept, and it helps us determine which option to take of all of the option chain, okay? We'll have question and answer the next day. Then at the end of the second week, we're going to start with the meat of the presentation. We're going to be setting up option trade with exact entries, define when to take profit, which is basically Allah's level, okay, and define exactly when to defend. And when I mean defending, there are several levels of defense, okay? So there is a first level of defense, which is a basic defense. It's the same as when you're taking Allah's trade. We go into that candle. Usually you're taking stop if you have a closing below the candle, not closing if you trade below the entry, the bottom of the candle. Now what I do, since option offers us more leniency, what I do is I don't do anything till we close below that option. Then I will take the first level of defense. Okay. Then now we'll have several levels of defense to go after that, to continue to go against us. Then there is another level of defense. And the level of defense is specified at a level. And what I do is this, very simple, you know. I set up the levels and I set up alerts, okay? When the alert hits, I grab my computer and do what I'm supposed to do, which is exactly what I'm going to teach you. Okay, I'm either going to be taking profit or I'm going to be defending a trade, okay? And you can do that anywhere. I mean, I'm going to the south of France next month. I'm going to be spending a full month there. I will have my laptop with me when I'm swimming in the ocean. You know, I'll have a laptop with me when I'm at the restaurant or sitting at the beach. You know, I get an alert on my phone, I grab my laptop. Obviously, I can trade from my phone too, but I'm getting too old with the eyes. So I pick up my laptop, I open it, I do the trade. It takes me 5 minutes to adjust the trade or take a profit. I close it and move on, okay? Now, week 3, we'll go into the defense strategy. This is where I show you exactly what you're supposed to do at each level when it's needed, so you can have trading that's, you know, where you can turn your losing trade into winning or break-even trade. Now, that obviously doesn't happen often because, as we all know, Allah's method is very accurate. But again, you know, not all of us are disciplined enough to do the perfect trade. And this is where I am guilty most of the time, because I will take trades that are less than perfect, you know, basically based on boredom or whatever, or having to be in the market, or maybe it's a man thing, or whatever, you know. But then again, I know if the trade goes against me, I can defend it, okay? I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions regarding that the next day. The following session will go into defense strategy again, okay? And then we'll go through a nightmare scenario. What is a nightmare scenario? Well, I haven't picked it up yet, but we're probably going to be looking at one of the worst trading plunge of the S&P 500, since it's the most widely traded contract. I think there was a big move down this year. There was one, I think, a year and a half ago, whatever. We'll just go through that plunge and assume that we were long, okay? Defend that trade until we make it profitable, or at least break even, okay? We'll go through that in details, and this is some of the beauty that we have with Thinkorswim, because I use Thinkorswim platform, and we have what's called Think Back. So we can actually go back to a certain date that we see what's going on and get the prices of this option at that time and plug it into the formula so you can see live how we do this. But again, Thinkorswim unfortunately only gives us end of day data, so we may have to do some maneuvering. Now, throughout that whole time that we are in the course, I'm also trading. So something comes up, we have to place a trade, then we will place a trade together. Of course, it will be on my live account. You'll be able to see that live with me, okay? And then at any time during the course that we have to, I have to defend the trade, even though you may not know what I'm doing initially until I explain it later on, you will see me, I'll project that into the screen and defend that trade live, okay? I plan to be completely transparent. You're going to be seeing everything that I'm doing right in front of you. There's nothing hidden, okay? Week 4, again, we'll go back to review because I'm sure you're going to have a lot of questions, and we'll continue to do live trading. We'll sit together, we'll decide which option we're going to take, which underlying we're going to be trading, we'll place that option live, and you will take a profit or defend it and set it up in a way where you're extremely clear what you're supposed to do at each level and in each junction of that trade, okay? Now, as a bonus, I'm also thinking of what we're going to be doing in case we have extra time, and we may very well have some extra time. I'd like to look at future option versus stock option. I just basically want to explain to you why I trade future option and not stock or ETF option. And there's very obvious reasons, from tax to margin to commission to anything, that gives a big advantage to future option. Obviously, stock option advantage is we have a lot more stocks to trade, okay? I will go through Thinkorswim analysis tab. Now that's an important function that you can use. Obviously, you don't have to have Thinkorswim. You can have any trading platform. I use Thinkorswim. I think it's one of the best platforms for options out there. I'll go through the platform and explain it, again, assuming that we have time to do. I will go also through Fibonacci timing, which is something that I often use. It's something that's rarely explained anywhere. Okay, there's very few people that use Fibonacci timing, and a lot of time it helps you with the setup, especially with my non-perfect setup. If something has timing and I don't have the perfect trade, there's a good chance that I will take, perfect setup, there's a good chance that I will take that trade based on the timing, okay? And last but not least, which is somebody has recommended, is basically, what are your biggest mistakes of trading? In other words, we try to speed up the learning curve so you can also learn from the mistakes that I've made throughout the years. And trust me, I've made plenty. You know, I was lucky enough to stay profitable and be able to recover from most of my mistakes. And I don't just, it's not just I've made mistakes in the past. Trust me, I still do. You know, sometimes we men are stubborn, we'll do something that is stupid, you know, and we'll go through these, we'll have a list of common mistakes, and you can ask me questions, or you can also interject with what mistake you're making, and we can go through the psychology of that also, okay? That's basically what I see as an outline to the course. I think it will be extremely powerful, extremely useful. You'll probably learn more than you've ever learned from anybody else. And by the way, the way I defend options, to my knowledge, I don't know anybody who teaches that way, or who does it this way. Now, I'm sure somebody else does, but it's not out there, it's not being taught, or I don't know about it. You know, I don't want to claim anything that is not correct or accurate. Okay, that's the presentation. Please go ahead and type question, ask me question, so I'll try to answer all of them, okay, and go through the list thoroughly. Let's see. Is net 300? Okay, question is, if you net 300K, how much money is your account size? Basically, this is a question that I've been asked so many times. Okay, and as I said, I thrive on full transparency. My account size is mid to high six figures. Okay, I don't hardly ever trade that account. Usually, I am 90% of the time, I am 75 plus in cash. Okay, but the reason why the account is large, well, number one, it grew over the years. Number two, TD Ameritrade gives us $5 million guarantees at deposit on deposit, and that's better than the bank. They pay me a little bit of interest, which is also better than the bank. And so I just basically move money that I need to spend, and I keep the rest of the money in the TD account. But because this question has happened before and came up before, I am now going to open an account for same as the name as my trading corporation. I'm going to open another account. Now, they will actually say, asking me, nobody opens a second account for the same corporation. But I'm going to open a second account. We're going to put a certain amount of money in there. I haven't decided how much, okay? But so we can trade and track that account from, hopefully I'll have it set up by the time we have the class. Now, what I'm trading, depending, the method that I'm going to show you will apply to any account size. So you can have 10,000, 25,000, 250,000, 2.5 million, account, and you would still be able to trade the account. We will go through that also. We will go through how much of the account we're going to be trading, and I will explain to you why, okay? Usually, we're not, because we're using option, not future, we're looking at margin. So we're not occupying more than 4 to 5% of the margin of the account in the initial trade, and we're not going to be taking more than 3/4 trade at the time. Okay, so this way that leaves us plenty of cash on the side in case we have to defend, or in case we have to do something, or in case shit hit the fan, excuse my language, we'll have plenty of cash to move it on. So the account, any account size will be able to trade the methodology. Average trade size. Again, we're not trading options. So average trade size is going to be depending on your account size. So let's say you have a $10,000 account, and we're talking about 5%, so that's $500. So when you're coming in there, you're going to be placing a trade where it does not occupy more than $500 of your account size or margin, okay? Is it portfolio margin? I have portfolio margin, but I trade, as I said, I only trade option on future or future option. On future option, we're all equal. In other words, the margin on future option is a lot better than portfolio margin requirement on stock, even if you have a portfolio margin account, which I do. On stock, even if you have a portfolio margin account, which I do. The main issue here is it's open for everybody. The margin is very attractive on future option. This is one of the main reasons why I try to do future options. Okay, how long do I spend in front of the screen every day? Actually, since I am not busy, this is all I do for a living. In the morning, I will start up my day, I'll have breakfast, I'll go to the gym, I'll have lunch, I'll take a small nap. So I'm sort of semi-retired, so to speak, since as I explained earlier, most of my business is gone. So I spend quite a few hours in front of the screen, but not because I have to, but because I have nothing better to do. In actuality, if we follow Ala's method, we are looking at a trade at the close of the day, which is 12 p.m. So that setup is going to show itself at 12 p.m. Usually the next morning for me, obviously, which will be night for you whenever you wake up, if that setup, if that particular underline or future or whatever it's set up, then we take a trade, okay? It takes 5 minutes, it doesn't take long, tell you exactly which delta to take, how far away, and what you're supposed to do, which option strategy. Will set all that up together so you can repeat it all the time, okay? And then once the trade is in, you are filled, we're going to put two alerts. One alert is when we're going to take profit, which is going to happen most of the time, and another alert when we're going to look to defend the trade. Okay, and then we're done. So we place a trade, we put in the alert, you can turn off your computer and go to work or go play on the beach, whatever. The main thing is you want to receive that alert on your phone. Once you get that alert, you get in there, either adjust the trade or defend the trade, as I call it, or take your profit. Okay, that's it, nothing else. Okay, how far out? I think I answered that. I usually go 30 to 45 days out. Oh, that's an important question, interesting question. What time frame do I use? I mainly trade daily charts. Okay, so my setup are of the daily charts, and I think when I explained that in the previous question, I didn't specify it. That's why the day ends at 12 p.m. So I'm trading the daily chart. But when you're trading the daily chart, you know, you always have to keep your eye on the larger time frame chart. So I also have the weekly in there that I will review prior to setting up the trade. Okay. Okay, let's see. How long am I in the trade? Okay. Usually most of the trade are going to work out between 1 and 5 days. If I have to defend the trade, we're going to be there longer. I usually want to close my trade. No, I don't want to be in the trade the last week of option expiration. So I'd like to close it before the 7-day window happens. Now, sometimes I'm forced not to because the trade hasn't given me what I wanted, so I'll keep it longer. Okay, but that's basically what I have. How long is the class per day? I think I explained that already. Class is going to be 4 days per week, Monday through Thursday. We'll start after Alice finishes. I'll discuss that with her probably around 12:30. Okay, and we'll go anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour and a half, you know, depending how much material that we have to cover and what questions do we have. Okay. Okay, must we have Thinkorswim? You don't have to have Thinkorswim. It's one of the best platforms out there if you're going to be trading future options or options in general. It's an excellent platform. There is a drawback with Thinkorswim, especially for future option. There are some contracts that they will not trade future option. For instance, they will not do Japanese yen. Okay. They will not do Aussie dollar. Okay, these are, I'm talking about future, not forex, and these are nice contracts. For some reason, they don't offer options on them. You can only trade the future. Now, I don't hardly ever trade futures, so I don't trade these. Also, I mean, if you want to trade everything that works, you can. I mean, I wish I could too. You can take Interactive Broker. Interactive Broker. I think their platform is not as nice as Thinkorswim, but it's a very nice platform, and you end up saving money on commission. Account size, I think I answered that. Oh, that's an interesting question. Weekly versus monthly options. I basically trade monthly options. I don't, most of the futures that I trade don't have weeklies anyway, okay? The only weekly, well, now ZB started weekly, but they have almost no volume in there. The ZB is a bond. ES and NQ have weeklies. Now, weeklies are great because I'm not, I don't trade weeklies per se in a 7-day expiration. As I said, I try to close it before I get the 7-day window. But it's nice because I get to trade anytime. Because sometimes I'll go, I mean, last year I think I was going to place trade on Euro, and the next option expiration was like 70 days away. I didn't want to be in that trade for 70 days, so I didn't take a trade. Now, if you're using ES, obviously you have weekly options, so you can always choose 30 days, 31 days, 32 days, whatever, which is the optimal that you can have, and place a trade then. And frankly speaking, you can only trade ES. I mean, you don't have to trade any of the others. You can just trade ES. That's good enough. It has a big volume. There's enough setup in there to take your trades and make money. The reason why I have the rest that I trade, number one, I like to spread my risk. Number two, they actually offer bottom margin, so I get more bang for my buck, so to speak. Okay. Let's see, what other question is there? I don't see any other question coming here. Oh, no, I do. I have to scroll down. Hold on for a second. I wasn't scrolling down. I have more questions. How many positions do I take per month? I think I answered that. I usually don't want to have more than max of 5 open positions. So I may take 10 trades. If I'm profitable, they're closed, then they're out. They're no longer there. I haven't been able to take too many 10 trades per month. Usually it's about between 5 and 8, 5 and 7 trades per month. Okay, all strategy using spread, any strategy for just long options. Okay, I personally like to use spread, especially credit spread. The strategy will apply for options, but then if you're only using long options, it's the same thing as using futures, except that your risk is defined, okay? Which is great. Your risk is defined, you cannot lose more than a certain period of time. Unfortunately, if there is no two sides to the option, it's difficult to defend. In other words, my strategy for defense depends on having 2 sides that we can play around with, okay? Now, if you have the right setup and you're going to take a long option, this is where you make most of your money. For me, I'm not a risk taker and I'm a chicken. You know, I would rather do it with spreads. I'd rather make less money and control my risk, okay? My model is very simple. Trade small, stay small. I don't want to hit any home runs. I do sometimes, okay? My main issue is let's just hit these singles. Let's keep that money coming. Let's have it stoning. Let's be consistent, you know. That's all I want to do, okay? Okay, I think I answered this question. Is how much money am I expending my capital in each position? I don't want to go more than 5%. Can past daily chart be used for stock? Yes, you can. You know, you can. The question is, can TOS, which is think or swim, daily chart be used for stocks? Now, this is almost a trick question, put it this way, because Ala likes to have 24-hour charts. She wants us to trade close of day at 12 a.m. So if you use Think or Swim daily, then you're going to be trading closing at 4:30 instead of 12 p.m. Now, can you do that? Probably yes. Would Ala like it? Probably not. Would the setup work as well? Probably not, because the methodology Ala's methodology is made based on 24 hours. Now, grant you, stocks trade very little after market, okay? And you cannot place option trade after market on stocks anyway, you know. But you can on options, on future options. Future options are also open 24 hours, okay? Does the defense strategy require a naked leg? No. I have developed several strategy, guys. I actually now have 3 strategies that I've developed. One, the original strategy was unbalanced ratio spread, which does have some naked options in it. But I shied away from that because of the nakedness, okay? I've also developed an option strategy which is, it has a combination of debit and credit spread. I use that sometimes, especially in low volatility, but not often. I mainly want to use credit spread. This is what my bread and butter strategy, and of course this would require to have some volatility. It doesn't have to have great volatility, but it does require some volatility, and I'll show you how to check for that. So no, the defense strategy does not have any naked legs, okay? Are we typically long or short? Excellent question. Actually, this is some of the best thing about the strategy. And even though Allah always accused us man of wanting to go short more than long, for me, it makes absolutely no difference. If I see the setup long, I'm going to go long. If I see the setup short, I'm going to go short. I don't care where the market is going. You know, if you take a look right now, I mean, it's not difficult to make money in the market the last 7, 8 years. We've been in a huge bull market. I think now it is the longest in history, you know. So can you make money on when the market crashes? And the answer is absolutely yes, and probably more money, okay? And this is when you take a look at the future that I trade, I mean, they don't have bullish pattern, not all of them anyway. They're going all over the place, you know, and I can still trade them. I trade them up, I trade them down, I even trade them sideways. I don't really care, you know. Course is going to be recorded. This is a question for Ala. I think I'll let her answer at the end. I have no idea. Okay, did you say that the Greek, you are concentrating on delta only, or sorry in advance? No, I mean, I'm very familiar with the Greek, but at the same time, I don't want to be a slave to the Greek, okay? I'm going to just show you what you need to know about them in order to trade. It's basically delta and theta, okay? This is what we're going to be using from the Greeks. Now, remember, you know, I probably know a ton about options, more than most people, but what I know most is how to use them, how to combine them, how to get them working. So this is what I'm going to be showing you. I'm not going to be sitting down here showing you a 3-legged butterfly or a 5-calendar option. No, I'm not going to even attempt to show you this or tell you what to do about it because I don't use it. You know, this you can probably go to some of the site on the internet or YouTube and just see what you want to do and just look at it. I am going to go through specific options. I'm going to go through a specific way of doing things. I'm not going to explain to you all the deltas, all the Greeks. I'm just going to explain to you what we need from them and how to use them. Okay. On the cost of the 4-week option course, that would also be with Anna. I'm sure now we have 2 questions for her. We have cost and recordation. I'm sure she will answer that at the end. Do I know my percentage of winners? That's an excellent question, and I really don't want to go too much into that. Okay, let me explain to you why. I thrive on 100%. Can I do 100%? Absolutely not. Okay, why can't I do 100%? You know, if the defense strategy is sound, okay, most of the options we're going to be winning anyway. Why can't we do 100%? Simple. Okay, let's take a look at what happened to us yesterday. Donald Trump comes out and says, I'm going to give $12.5 billion of farm subsidy, okay? I have an option. I told you I trade agriculture. I think wheat yesterday jumped about 7% and continued a couple of more percent today. And again, this is me. This is the mistake that I make and that we have to avoid together. I was so far away from the money that I decided to save on commission, okay? And not to close an option that has a delta of, I think it has like a delta of 1 or 2, you know. This was, I mean, these things almost never have to worry about them. So what happened? The wheat goes 3+ standard deviation in 1 day, and the option is expiring tomorrow, okay? I had to take a loss. I don't have a choice, okay? So I thrive on getting 100%. I don't usually get 100%. What I also do is I'm always trying new things. Now this will all end when we open the new account and we're going to be trading together. We're going to be attempting to get 100%. Now I think what I do with all of my flaws, okay, last year and this year, we did anywhere from mid-80 to high 80 winning percentage, okay? I think we can do mid-90s, to be honest, okay? I think we can do mid-90 winning percentage, okay? But again, we have to be disciplined, you know, and some event is going to happen that we can't help. We're going to have to take losses. That's all there is to it. But I will show you, maybe even use that as an example in the course. I don't know if, let me think for a second. The move was so big that I had to defend twice yesterday. So I think if we go in there and look at the back data, I didn't take any screenshots, sorry. If we have to go back and look at the back data, we'll only have closing data, so we may not be able to do week. We'll attempt to do that. Let me take a look at it. So actually, this is the time when you will most likely have to take a loss. They're going to be few and far in betweens in future options, and this is why I like them, because we're traded 24 hours. Most likely we're going to be able to defend just about anything, you know. And frankly speaking, even with that wheat contract, if I had 2 weeks to defend, there's no way we're taking a loss, you know. We're going to be profitable in that trade. But when you have 2 days to defend an option, it's very difficult to do. So it's, again, another lesson learned. Get out, pay the commission. Don't sit there watching it, expecting it to be closed worthless. Okay, let me go to the next question. Oh, okay. If we're trading 5 open position per month, how many contracts per open position? Okay, we're not necessarily trading 5 position per month. You know, we will not have more than 5 open positions, but we may trade 7, 8, 10. You know, depending. I really never kept track, but that's about it. I mean, I don't think we'll go over 10. Okay. Usually, my category is, as I said, 5% of the account value. Contract position depends really on the margin. Let me give you an example. Margin is better on oil than it is on ES. My ES usually initial trade is 10 contracts. Okay, the same for NQ, it's 10 contracts. I go to oil, then I'm trading probably 20 to 30 contracts. I go to agriculture, same thing, 20 to 30 contracts. ZB, 20 to 30 contracts. Okay. So that's how it's working, and this is how I can produce $20,000 to $25,000 return per month. Let's see, what else do we have? Time and price for the course. Well, let's see. The time for the course, we were thinking about September 10th. But I think Ala is going on vacation from August 20th for 3 weeks. So that gives us 1, 2, Let's see, September.
So I think we're looking hopefully at September 10th. I will know in the next week the exact date.
You know,
I think the latest we're gonna do it is September 17th.
That's what I think. I think let's set up a date for September 17th because we need at least a week to prepare. Me and you know, I need to be able to project. I need to be able to do that. We have to try a different scenario. So let's set a date for September 17th where we'll both be ready. Does that sound good?
And the price for the course is identical to what the fee is for the group course. Exactly the same fee for Sam's course.
Okay.
Exactly the same fee as for the group course. So again, please remember the group course right now, let me look online. It is identical fee, $29.77. This will be the fee for Sam's course, which in my opinion is absolutely practically free considering the value Sam is bringing with such high accuracy. Again, this fee will be open only to graduates, so please do not give this link to someone who did not take a course. I will verify every single person who is entering Sam's course to make sure that only graduates have access. So this may be only one-time shot. It is all up to Sam. If Sam would like teaching, he may continue teaching. If not, just like private mentoring, Sam doesn't want to do anymore. This may be only one-time event. So September 17th with 90% probability and exactly identical fee for the group course as you see online.
There is another question that I'd like to repeat.
Any other questions for Sam?
Yeah, there's a question that I'd like to repeat. I think somebody didn't hear is how many lots do I trade? Again, for ES and NQ, I trade 10 lots. For oil, gold, ZB, I will trade 20 to 30 lots, depending. There are other factors in there that are involved. And again, we'll go through that and explain them. I think I answered everything. If there is a question that I missed, please retype it again or tell me that I missed it and I'll scroll back up and look. Yes, no more than 5% capital per position. As I said, trade small, stay small. We want to make money consistently. This is our goal, you know. And when I show you what we do, there will be times when things are just going to be dropping into your laps that you'll be surprised about. Yes, Jean, I remember you. Any other questions?
Well, if you have any other questions, Alfis, please do ask. If not, thank you so much for your amazing presentation, Sam, and thank you so much, Alfis, for being here. We love you all to pieces. And as you can see, stories like Sam is the reason I live and breathe what I do. And if you would like to master options, in my opinion, there is no better way to trade options than what Sam is showing here. Ultimate accuracy, ultimate profitability, ultimate way to trade. Thank you so much, everyone.
And let me repeat again. We're going to be showing live account and live trading, and you'll be seeing it step by step right in front of you. And it'll be a new account, so we can all follow up. But I don't want to make the account too small, so we can. But again, if I'm trading 10 contracts, let's say it's a $250,000 account, then you can trade one contract with probably $10,000 now. Okay. I haven't even decided on the size. I think it's going to be about maybe 250, 300,000, somewhere around in there. Okay.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Look forward to hearing from you. If you have any questions, please send an email to me, info@fibinstitute.com, and I promise you I will forward all the emails to Sam. Sam is leaving for vacation, and we'll be back. When are you back, Sam? At the end of August?
End of August, September 1st, I should be back in front of my screen. Well, actually, it'll be Saturday, so Monday,
Thank you,
September
Alfis.
3rd.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Have a fantastic afternoon. Bye-bye.